At 6 o'clock, it's 79 degrees in Milwaukee. Tonight's going to be mainly clear with a low of 62 degrees. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees near the lake and 85 degrees inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brinda. 2 police officers are injured, one critically, in a late-night shooting in Milwaukee. Officers responded around 9:20 p.m. Thursday night to report of a person firing shots near 24th and Garfield. The suspect was arrested without incident just after 2 a.m. Friday morning. Milwaukee Police Association President Alex Ayala tells Wisconsin's Morning News the critically injured officer had surgery overnight at Froedtert Hospital.
The next 24 hours are going to be crucial for him. So I just want everybody to pray for him for the next 24 hours. Hopefully everything goes well and he makes it through this.
The other officer is in stable condition. And Milwaukee police have released body camera footage from an officer-involved shooting earlier this month.
You just shot at me! You just shot me!
39-year-old Dante Gladney faces 2 felonies, including attempted first-degree intentional homicide and possession of a firearm by a felon. Officers were chasing him on foot near 46th and Hampton on June 12th because he had a gun and refused to follow orders to drop the weapon. After exchanging gunfire, Gladney and a Milwaukee police officer were both injured. 19-year-old Devin Osborne was also arrested. 2 ghost guns were recovered at the scene. And a man accused of killing his cellmate will spend the rest of his life in prison. On Friday, Jackson Vogel stood before Brown County Judge Donald Zubmolderd, who said this.
So it's the sentence of the court and the judgment of the law that you be confined in the Wisconsin State Prison for the rest of your natural life. I find that you are not to be eligible for extended supervision.
Vogel was convicted and is responsible for the murder of Micah Loriano because he was black and gay. Our partners at NBC 26 say that Vogel had requested the possibility of a supervised release, but Judge Zudmulder called Vogel a killing machine before sentencing him to life in prison. And in a move, Defense Secretary Hegseth says he will remove politics from ship naming. The family of gay rights icon and a Navy veteran Harvey Milk speaking about the decision to change the naming of the carrier. ABC's Chris Boccia has more from Washington.
The Pentagon is picking a new name for the USNS Harvey Milk, stripping the politician and Korean War veteran's name during Pride Month. Stuart Milk, nephew of the gay rights pioneer, spent 3 nights on the vessel. Sailors free to tell him their feelings.
I had no one who expressed anything but pride in the fact that they were serving on the U.S. Navy ship Harvey Milk.
Milk said his uncle's discharge from the Navy in 1955 was designated other than honorable because he was gay. Chris Boccia, ABC News, Washington.
And the largest fencing competition in the world begins Saturday at the Barrett Center in downtown Milwaukee. The competition features 8 Olympians, including one who lives and trains here in Heartland.
Born in Milan, Italy, Margherita Gucci Vincenti attended Penn State University on a full-ride scholarship for fencing.
I came to the United States in 2010, and as a freshman, my first semester in, I won NCAA.
That prompted a trip to the White House to meet with former President Barack Obama, who encouraged Vincenti to become an American citizen.
I was then offered a green card. Here I am now fencing for Team USA, being a very, very proud American and obviously a Wisconsin.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The event wraps up on July 7th and is free and open to the public. Sports, traffic, weather, and next Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 6:04.
So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right. Because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
At QC Kinetics, we're all about keeping you in the game, helping you get lasting relief from joint pain. That's why we're excited to announce that QC Kinetics is now partnering with the National Pickleball League. So many of our satisfied patients are avid pickleball players, and they're thrilled with how we've helped them get back on the court. As lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League, we're committed to help pickleball fans of all ages with the latest, most advanced regenerative cell treatments. These treatments use your body's own healing power, revitalizing and restoring damaged joint tissue the natural way, with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Whether you're a pickleball fanatic or enjoy golf or running or tennis, stay in the game with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, proud to promote active, pain-free living as a lead sponsor of the National Pickleball League. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Colorado Rockies tonight at American Family Field. Brewers starter Brandon Woodruff completes a 60-pitch simulated game and is once again on the cusp of joining the big league team, according to Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
We'll get him going when it's time for him to get going, whoever we're playing on the schedule. He's such a great guy, and he's been through so much. So I think all that will fall into place. Where he starts his first one, if it happens to be at, AmFam, that'd be awesome.
Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ, and the NBA draft is over. The Bucks select 19-year-old Serbian forward Bogolub Markovic with the 47th overall pick. Following the draft, the Bucks agreed to a 2-way contract with Alabama's Mark Sears, a first-team All-American point guard last season. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We got a couple of incidents out on the road. I-41 94 south, 1 mile beyond the ramp from West Lane Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. On that, roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's going to be mainly clear with a low of 62 degrees. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees near the lake and 85 degrees inland. Sunday, partly cloudy, hot and humid with a chance of thunderstorms late in the day with a high of 91 degrees. Monday's going to be mostly cloudy and humid with a slight chance of showers and a high of 85 degrees. And Tuesday's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 83 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 77 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 75 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 79 degrees. Right here in Milwaukee, it's 79 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:08.
This is Brewers Warmup with Dominic Cotroneo. Your lineups, manager insights, and a preview of tonight's game right now. This is Brewers Warmup. Here's your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
Roof is open, panels open. It's a beautiful summer night for baseball. And if you're in the mood for some music, well, man, do I got the game for you. Brewers, Rockies, Nelly, all of that coming tonight here at American Family Field. The homestand continues. The Brewers took 2 out of 3 from the Pirates, enjoyed an off day yesterday, and now welcome the Colorado Rockies. Unfortunately, the Colorado Rockies, the worst record in Major League Baseball. 13 wins to this point in the season. Don't mind the Brewers, but another reminder and the disclaimer that we will hit at the start of this series and the start of every game as we have a Brewers warm-up before every contest. The Brewers are a big league team. The Rockies are a big league team. Yes, the Rockies only have 18 wins. Still big leaguers on the other side. And in fact, they're handing the ball to a guy that has handled the Brewers very well for his entire career, and that is Kyle Freeland. The left-hander has had a long career of getting Brewers out, whether it be at elevation or whether it be here at American Family Field. And their bullpen, I'll tell you what, I will give a compliment right now to the Rockies bullpen. Everybody in that pen throws hard. Every single one of them. So do not assume that you're going to come back against that bullpen just because they're the Rockies. Kyle Freeland will be opposite Jose Quintana, another left-hander in this one. Brewers and Rockies getting going in just an hour. So before you start to make all your silly comments about, the doormat, the bottom of the league, what are they doing? Look, the Brewers only won 2 out of 3 in Colorado on the first true road trip of the season, aside from, of course, Yankee Stadium to open the year. Then they came home. Then they went to Colorado and Arizona. Mind you, any team can beat any team. That's why we play 162 of them. That's why we play a 7-game postseason series for the World Series. That's why we play so many games, because on any given night, you can catch the team on the right night. And for Kyle Freeland, he's trying to do that for the Rockies today. In his career, this will be his 10th start against the Brewers. He's 5-3 with a 2.65 ERA, 49 Ks in 54 innings. He's really made a knack of staying off the barrel, very similar to what Jose Quintana does so well against all of his opponents and how strong he has been for the Brewers this year. So that is your pitching matchup today, Kyle Freeland versus Jose Quintana. We'll get you the starting lineups here in just a moment. We'll also hear from manager Pat Murphy talking a little bit about William Contreras later on in the program because he's somebody that's a perhaps pick to click right now. I'll explain why later. And also just, hey, we're halfway. Let's take stock. We talked about it on last night's Brewers Weekly. You know, you can listen to that in your podcast feeds at Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcast. But we're going to kind of take stock in the next segment of what the halfway point means for the Brewers. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the starting lineup, starting with the home Brewers. Again, facing a lefty on the other side, but it's really not that different. Sal Frelick will still lead things off. Sal is in the top 15 in batting average in the National League. He's in right field. Jackson Chourio hits second. He'll play center field. Christian Yelich, he's been hot. He is DHing and hitting third. William Contreras, Wild Bill, with a brand new mural in Black Cat Alley. No, he is not a black cat in that mural, but it's still a pretty cool image and great artist work done. More on that later. William behind the plate after the double day off. Isaac Collins moves up to the 5 spot. Remember, he's a switch hitter, and the right side is his natural side. So he gets the hit against Freeland in that very important 5th spot in the order from the eyes of the Brewers. He's in the left. Rhys Hoskins will slide and hit 6th. He's over at first base. Bryce Terang will bat 7th for the Crew at second. And then Caleb Durbin, who's quietly playing really quality baseball, over at third base, bats 8th. And finally, Joey Ortiz, continuing to ride his hitting streak. His batting average has jumped dramatically up to 214. And I know what you're thinking, why is that such a big deal? Well, when he woke up on June 8th, it was only 179. And now he's on quite the hitting streak where he is, or just ended the hitting streak. He should be, his on-base streak continues as he had 9 in a row before yesterday's loss. All of this for the Brewers, again, one more time. The top third is Frelick, Chourio, Yelich. The middle third is Contreras, Collins, Hoskins. And then the bottom third is, well, it just reloaded on me here, but there we go. Terang, Durbin, Ortiz. I knew it was silly with where they had put Terang. Anyway, over to the other side for the Colorado Rockies. It's been a odd year. And we'll also see old friend Orlando Arcia over on the other side. He's on the bench today, though. Mickey Moniak will lead things off. Former number 1 overall pick is in right field. Jordan Beck is in left. He'll hit second. Tyro Estrada is playing second base for the Rockies. He's hitting third. Michael Toglia, former UCLA teammate with Garrett Mitchell. Update on him later as well. Tolia's at first. Kyle Farmer is designated hitter. He'll bat 5th. Ryan McMahon, who's been linked to the Brewers for years as a trade target. McMahon, the third baseman, hits 6th. Brenton Doyle, he can really go out and get it in center field. He's batting 7th. Braxton Fulford is the catcher, batting 8th. And Ryan Ritter rounds out the order as the shortstop for the Rockies. Once again, they go like this. Moniak, Beck, Estrada, Toglia, Farmer, McMahon, and then the bottom third has Doyle, Fulford, and Ritter. And they are dealing with some injuries just like any team would, but for the Rockies, when their young stars and the guys they really want to get eyes on are injured, that really hurts their development. Of course, Ezekiel Tovar has a strained oblique that happened earlier this month, and Chris Bryant has been on the 60-day IL for virtually the entire season with lumbar degenerative disc disease. It is putting his career in jeopardy at this point. But Zach Veen was optioned earlier this year. Sean Bouchard has been up and down. They're a team that's stuck in the mud, and the Brewers are going to try to keep them there with this 3-game set over the weekend. Let's talk about the halfway point, shall we? The Brewers, 81 games down, second place in the division, in a wild card spot at the season ended today. A lot of good coming from that. How does the manager feel about it? Coming up next on 620 WTMJ.
Summer in Milwaukee means a couple of things: Brewers baseball and live music. Get the best of both when the Brewers take on the Rockies June 27th, featuring a post-game concert by Nelly. Then, the first 25,000 fans at the game on Saturday, June 28th, get a Pat Murphy Manager of the Year bobblehead, courtesy of Toyota. Get ready for a weekend you'll be talking about all summer. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
It's time to find great summer values at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We have everything you need to get out and celebrate the season at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like men's work and sport pocket tees, $10.99 each. Select Perfect Air dehumidifiers and window air conditioners, $139.99. Assorted Rust-Oleum 2X spray paint is on sale, $4.99. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing you'll always find the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Now, more of Brewers Warmup on WTMJ.
There we go. Matt Yazel, our producer, taking context clues. If you're still thinking about it, Nelly's got post-game concert today. Come on, it's live music season right now in Milwaukee. Summerfest in full swing. Got another weekend coming up next weekend with Summerfest, so get in the spirit here at American Family Field. Brewers and Rockies coming up at 7:10. Now, today is game number 82 of the season. Why is that significant? That's the official halfway point of the year. 81 games down, 81 to go. 45-36 for the Brewers. You know, we joked with Pat Murphy, you know, how do you feel about having 45 wins in the first 81? And, you know, he's joking, he's like, oh, because we were 0-4 in the way that those first 4 games went? And he's not wrong. The Brewers set a modern baseball record for the worst run differential in the first 4 games of the season. And look at them now. They are currently in a playoff spot. If the season ended today, the Brewers would be the number 2 wild card, which means they would go to Philadelphia for a 3-game series with them, and then would be matched up with the 1 seed, which would be, as of now, the Los Angeles Dodgers. But they're only 2 games back of the Phillies for that top spot. And remember, the Brewers have the head-to-head sweep right now on the Phils. They won't be back until the week of Labor Day. They'll play a game on Labor Day that Monday, off day Tuesday, then play Wednesday, Thursday. So keep that in mind for your tiebreaker thoughts. And then you may be thinking, well, Don, what about the division? They're in the division. You're absolutely right. They're 3 games back of the Cubs. They finished off the series win over St. Louis. They're 48-33. The Cubs are very good. The Brewers will see them in exactly a month here at American Family Field, the days leading up to the trade deadline. And both teams could obviously transform between now and then of what are they going to do at the deadline to make their team happy. But the biggest thing today that the Brewers have found in the eyes of Pat Murphy is they have found that edge once again. We talked about it in the beginning of May where they had those 6 shutouts in the first 2.5 weeks of the month. Where's the edge? Where can you find it? And it was that series in Pittsburgh that got everybody going. Yes, it was a split, but there was the great comeback, the great plays by Caleb Durbin, by Isaac Collins. They come back home and they win 8 in a row, and then boom, they feel like they can't lose again. And now they have the best record in the National League since Memorial Day. So that's a pretty significant amount of time, all thanks to, in the words of Pat Murphy, finding their edge.
They know it. You know, they know how they have to play. There's only one way for this team to play, and that's with an edge. How do I get to first if I'm a hitter? Hit it to me if I'm a fielder. If I'm a pitcher, hey, how do I hit the glove? They have to have that pitch-to-pitch edge, and they have to be relentless. And they've probably got to put a little more into it than any other team because we have to kind of collectively build small victories throughout the game. And we can't become emotionally attached to the result, but rather emotionally attached to how we do it.
The whole point of that coach speak that you heard at the end is that the Brewers are going to play their game. They are going to, perfect example, second inning on Wednesday against Paul Skeens. Dink, dunk, dodge, dive, whatever, right? They are able to put the ball in play and make an all-star future Cy Young Award winner frustrated. Tag 4 runs on him, 37 pitches in the inning, and really only one ball was hit square. That was Yelly's RBI single. So that's the way the Brewers have to play ball. Going first to third, being a team that, as you've heard me say over and over again on postgame shows, win on the margins. There are two numbers that I want to point out. The Brewers, their fielding run value, as a club, is still very good. And when you add everybody up based on their position adjustment, and when you add up based on outs above average, defensive runs saved, all that sort of thing, the Brewers have a bunch of positive defenders. William Contreras is a positive defender thanks to his throwing arm, and he's been above average as a framer. Isaac Collins has been phenomenal in left field. Sal Frelick, Gold Glover in right field, he has a chance to repeat. Even Joey O. I know he doesn't make all the elite plays, but really in the last 2 weeks we've seen him take a new turn to make the elite plays. And Churrio's playing out of position, but he's still playing okay there in center. Terang, Platinum Glove winner. They don't really have liabilities on defense that you're like, oh gosh, that guy's got to play defense. Or then base running, right? They're the best base running team in baseball, and that's not just stolen bases. So all of that plays into their edge of being a team that works counts, isn't afraid to take a strike, isn't afraid to be, all right, well, it's a 1-2 count, let me work this to 3-2, and then let's see what happens. And that's what this team does so successfully. And that's why they're successful at the halfway point of the year. And guys like William Contreras and Jackson Chourio, quite frankly, have been kind of quiet. Let's talk specifically about William Contreras. That's coming up on the other side of the break, right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Certa Pro Painters. They painted the exterior of our house. I loved it because they're thorough and they're thoughtful. As a matter of fact, they pointed out some wood that might need to eventually be replaced. They just looked at the whole house, and I felt like they absolutely cared. Get on Certa Pro's calendar right now. The summer sales discount goes through July 31st. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. They'll do it the right way the first time. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated. It's Certa Pro Painters.
Have you seen the Milo bedroom at Penny Mustard Furnishings?
You know it, Daddy-O, and it's boss. I mean, if you don't dig the mod mood of the Milo bedroom, you're Dullsville.
Ben.
What's your bag, man?
Why are you talking like that?
I think I know. He's saying the Milo bedroom from Penny Mustard takes you back to the times of Mad Men, martinis, and mop tops.
Right on, Nicole.
Oh, well, I agree. It's refreshingly retro. I love Milo's clean, streamlined look.
It's a gas.
Sophisticrafted in the USA with solid wood and scaled to fit any room.
What you mean to say is, the Milo bedroom is perfect for your pad.
Yeah, dude. It's totally bodacious.
Wrong decade, Arvid.
Oh.
Don't be so square, man.
The Milo bedroom, starting at just $217 a month with no interest till July of 2027 through July 6th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Groovier versions of what people dig.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
We're fired up for the 4th at Fleet Farm with deals that'll help you celebrate in style. Save $200 on a Traeger Woodridge pellet grill. On sale now for $699.99. Stay hydrated with 8 packs of Gatorade, 2 for $15. And get 1-gallon 4-packs of Liquid Pool Shock for just $14.99. Get ready for Independence Day with these specials and more at your local Fleet Farm. And check out all the items in our weekly ad, backed by our best price guarantee at fleetfarm.com.
Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Back to Brewers Warm-Up on WTMJ.
Yeah, I think this album was probably the album that, introduced me to Nelly. So, even though he's a Cardinals fan, he's singing today. Air Force Ones too. That was everywhere growing up. So that was a fun time. Matt Yazel, our producer, getting us in the spirit for Nelly Tonight post-game concert. William Contreras today has a brand new mural over on the east side in Black Cat Alley. If you're not familiar, it's right there near the Whole Foods over there, and you've got the old Oriental Theater right there too. So if you know kind of place, but he's in an anime style. Looks really great. And you can find it on Brewers Instagram, Brewers social media and everything. But part of this, too, is Wild Bill, as he's affectionately nicknamed on that mural, hasn't been so wild lately, but he's been hitting the ball hard again. I had a chat with Connor Dawson, hitting coach of these Brewers, about Williams specifically, and that, we both came to the agreement that, there were times earlier this year that, yes, the finger's been bothering him, but the truth is, Williams is a guy that bat speed's always going to be there. And there are multiple ways to look at bat speed. It's not everything. So last year, he averaged 74.7 miles an hour bat speed. I mean, think of this as a pitcher's fastball velocity. It matters what your bat speed is. This year, it's down more than 2 miles an hour, which may not sound significant, but when you catch a ball properly, 2 miles an hour of bat speed, difference between those two swings, is a difference of 12 to 15 feet when you catch it right, which is the difference of a warning track flyout and a home run. It's the difference between a line drive single or it's a one hopper to the shortstop, right? All of that matters. And what we've seen lately from William Contreras is a harder exit velocity, a little bit more aggressive. And I asked, do you think it's because his finger's healthy? It's not fully healed, but in the words of Pat Murphy, he kind of had some stern talking to about how he feels about William Contreras' efforts so far this season.
He's the shell of himself. I don't think he's close to being that Silver Slugger winner that he has been the last few years. I think he's so tough on himself, and hitting is so hard. There's such a fine line between being really good and being just okay. There's just a fine line, whether it's seeing the ball, being too anxious, maybe trying too hard, being emotionally attached to results. All those things, I don't know which exact ones it is for William, but all those things add up. He's not quite in his groove yet, but I'm just confident in the kid.
You look at it, on Tuesday, he went 0 for 4 with a strikeout, but started to hit the ball hard again. Then he was 2 for 4 on Monday with a couple of loud contacts, 2 for 4 on Sunday in Minnesota with a double, catching all 3 games of that weekend series. But if you want to keep an eye on somebody to start breaking out this weekend against the Colorado Rockies, I am starting with William Contreras. I think that's a really low-hanging fruit, but hey, sometimes it looks pretty ripe. And I think William Contreras, he doesn't have the burden of having to get ready for the All-Star game right now. He gets to take a breather during the All-Star break since he did not advance to Phase 2 of voting. And quite frankly, with the loaded catcher position that we have, you know what? Maybe get him off his feet a little bit, let him relax, and go look at that new mural in Black Cat Alley. That is going to do it for my program here on Brewers Warmup. The On Deck Show, Built by Menards, coming up after the news and after the break. I'll be with you after the game with Nelly in the background, talking Brewers baseball on Brewers Extra Innings. Again, our producer has been Matt Yazel. We'll have Jeff Levering and Lane Grindle on the call in just a moment, but for now, I send it back to our WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here's Sean Brinda.
Thanks, Tom. The names of 2 more Republicans are floating around for Wisconsin governor. Sources tell our news partners, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, that Tim Michels and Eric Hufty are considering bids. Michels, the co-owner of Milwaukee-based construction business, lost to Governor Tony Evers in 2022. Hufty, a multimillionaire in real estate and banking, lost his run for a U.S. Senate.